I've got this comment so many times now. It's football, not soccer. I've had this comment at least hundreds, if not thousands of times on my channel because you guys can't get over yourselves. And frankly, I found this and did up best. They call a game using their feet to play with a ball soccer. They call a game using your hands to play with a ball football. American logic. But the irony of this is, it's incredibly English logic because it was the English that came up with the word soccer, and it was also English people that came up with a ball game named football, which you carry the ball in your hands. Now, those of you that are unaware is the old medieval English game of football actually used both kicking and carrying the ball with your hands, and there was no agreed upon rules until eventually the Football Association was formed, and that's how we got association football. But association football would be shortened by Oxford English schoolboys to soccer, so soccer football. But after the split with the English FA, we came up with rugby football. As we can see here, the laws of rugby football in 1845 were developed after Blackheath FC decided to leave the Football Association. And this was the split from association football for rugby football. And then later they would split as well, and we would get rugby union and rugby league. So it's actually the English that came up with football with carrying the ball in their hands. And the facts are, is through most of the 20th century, the English would use soccer and football interchangeably for association football. And rugby would be known mostly as rugby, but sometimes it was football as well. But it became easier to call one of them rugby and one of them football, and sometimes soccer. But in America, what happened is the English had introduced us to some of their games. One of them was rugby. And our colleges started playing rugby matches. However, eventually, we ended up evolving the game into what would become American football, and now that is American football. And because of this, we also, when soccer got introduced, kept the term soccer as our primary term for the sport to avoid confusion. And frankly, it just makes sense because football is not about kicking the ball with your foot. It is a family of ball games, which includes ball games that you carry the ball with your hands and ball games where you kick the ball with your feet. So soccer is actually arguably a better name for the sport because it avoids confusion. Because football could mean soccer, it could mean rugby, it could mean Gaelic football, Australian football, American football, and Canadian football. And soccer only means soccer. But at the end of the day, I don't really care what people call it. And I don't know why it bothers you guys so much. If we both love the same sport, if we call it soccer, football, calcio, foosball, who cares? It's still the beautiful game, and I love it either way.